Hey everybody, I am back with a new Harry Potter movie review. And I just covered Goblet of Fire, so now I'll be covering Order of the Phoenix. So we'll get right into it. Uh, Please like this video, leave a comment below, let me know what you guys think of the Harry Potter films. This movie was directed by David Yates, and we got, of course, the returning cast from previous films, but now we have uh, Imelda Staunton as Dolores Umbridge, the new defense against the dark arts teacher, as well as uh, a corrupt minister of magic. Uh, uh, we got uh, Ivana Lynch as the Ravenclaw student Luna Lovegood. Uh, Timothy Bateson as uh, 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 the House Elf creature, and Tony Maudsley as Hagrid's half brother Grop. Um, we got George Harris as Kingsley Shacklebolt, and Natalia Tina as Nephrodora Tonks, who this one I didn't even realize until I looked this up. If you watch John Wick 4, she was the new leader of the Russian, mafia people that used to that John Wick used to associate with. Um, so I was like, wow, that's the same woman. Because like rewatching this film, I was like, dang, she is cute as heck. And I was like, oh snap, that's the same one from John Wick. Like what? Like whoa, you be surprised looking back on old films that certain people you don't even recognize in modern day that has been quite a few things that you saw growing up. So it kind of blew my mind. Like whoa, wow, because like I was like, Miss Tonks kind of cute. I was like, uh, kind of quirky and weird, and I'm kind of into it. Uh, the quirky and weird girls are usually kind of cute to me. Maybe it's just me. That's just like how I usually roll. Um. Anyway, so we open with just briefly. Uh, Harry is back living with the Dursleys, and of course, he's sitting out in the middle of the park, getting hassled by his cousin, who is still an a-hole, but didn't help the fact that he was raised by, his parents who were also a-holes that kind of coddled the boy. So now you got a crew of little flunkies that, following around like little dorks. Then all of a sudden, uh, uh, the cousins get attacked by Death Eaters, who's obviously were sent by, Voldemort or his acolytes. So, with no other option, Harry has to use a Patronus charm to force those Dementors away. Otherwise, they would have killed him and his cousin. But because of that, the ministry ends up sending a letter uh, expelling Harry from Hogwarts. Which, like, if you found out that he used magic, in the Muggle world, you can also figure out possibly why he did it or what was the context of him using it. Because once Harry is brought, first he's picked up by Mad Eye Moody and a couple of other people to be brought to Sirius Black's home, where they are establishing uh, a a uh, a rebel group called Order of the Phoenix, which is funded secretly by Dumbledore, and uh, we see Harry's friends there and the Weasleys, and so Harry, you know, not want to be treated like some kid. It's like, no, I want to fight, even though it's the young kid gumption. It's like kind of like Luke Skywalker in a way. Like I want to fight for the Rebel Alliance, and blah blah blah. You know, it's very one to one with Harry and Luke Skywalker, because they're the cream of the crop A-list examples of hero's journey characters, or like the chosen one type of characters. And just like with Luke, Harry wants to be able to fight, because even though here's my critique here with Harry in this particular film, he is young, and throughout this arc here, he will be tested in terms of his emotions and his own belief system within himself and his friends and family. And Voldemort will try his darnest to try to get him isolated from any type of close ties, because he'll be more easily defeatable that way. But of course, Harry will not see that, because he's stressed, he's anxious, he feels like he's getting an attack from all sides. He can't sleep well because the mental connection he feels like he has with Voldemort, because ever since the attack he caused him when he was a baby, left like an impression, an unknown connection between them. So this is obviously stressing him out, and the kid's not thinking clearly, and clearly he is not ready. He wants to be ready, he wants to fight, but he mentally he's not there. In terms of maturity, he's not there yet. Because I'm thinking about like something like My Hero Academia. This whole point with them getting taught how to be heroes, because this is a very dangerous game you're stepping into. It's not even a game, but you know what I mean. It's like you'll be dealing with life-threatening situations, and not just with you, but anybody around you. So you need to be properly trained, prepared, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally. And unfortunately, there's so much crap going on with Hogwarts, where Harry and eventually the fellow students aren't being properly taught, because that's just like the long game that Voldemort is playing. We'll get to that in a second. But Harry's just not ready. He thinks he's ready, but he's not truly ready. He's stressed, and he's probably stressed and impatient. He's trying to, take the fight to him. Kind of like a bull in a china shop, and some things need to be handled with a bit of finesse and patience, which he's a teenager. Patience is not like usually not the way of a teenager. But anyway, they end up going back. Harry ends up being brought to the Ministry of Magic, and he's being brought to trial, and Dumbledore is representing Harry, and is pretty much like a darn near a kangaroo court. And Dumbledore expressed the fact that, okay, we understand that if a wizard or a witch is put in a life-threatening situation, I think that is the only excusable situation for them to actually use magic, in like a unique situation that, yeah, you want them to be able to defend themselves. You don't just accept them just dying when they could easily prevent it. It's like an excusable thing. It's not like a kid, playing with their wand to show off in front of their friends back at their muggle home. That's not this situation. You're treating it like it's that situation. But luckily, thanks to Dumbledore and like an eyewitness who clearly, is, has some kind of friendship with Dumbledore, and this exonerates Harry so he can be let back into Hogwarts. But Dumbledore has been acting very standoffish with Harry with quote unquote good reason. But on Harry and his friends' return to Hogwarts, which astonishingly is still going on given the fact that Voldemort is supposedly back. But because I guess the ministry, the head master of the ministry, is in utter denial of Voldemort's return, he's allowing Hogwarts to continue on as normal. But this time around, he is like his belief in Dumbledore is wavering of how he can, get things under the control. And it's possible that he's a little butthurt at the fact that Dumbledore in the last film told everybody that Voldemort has returned and was the cause of Diggory's death. So now he plays Umbridge inside as one of the teachers to, also primarily keep an eye out on things and what's carrying on with Dumbledore. Hey, Lucas, how you doing, man? So, Umbridge is, I think, to a lot of people, yeah, I got a second. Okay. 1 second. What the? Don't know why it won't let me chat. Yeah, I don't know why it won't let me join Twitch. I'm already on Twitch. Man, I just can't do it while I'm streaming right now. So, sorry, I can't do it. Yeah. Sorry about your headphones. If you can't hear me, but whatever. Uh, uh, yeah. Where was I? So, uh, Umbridge is easily, to a lot of people, is considered the most. I can't. Why is everybody's headphones not working? I don't understand. Uh, and I can't keep pausing to type. I can't. It's kind of takes me off my flow. So try to get your headphones fixed, people. Uh, 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 anyway, uh, Umbridge is probably considered the most like evil. It's probably like up there with like Palpatine in terms of how evil this person is. And I forgot how evil this woman is. The fact that she placates to this whole, it's kind of like a turning a perception on its head with that whole wearing this pink frilly little outfit and have this little, nanny grandma friendly, demeanor, and her room is all like supposedly cozy, but she's just like a demon in disguise kind of attitude. Um, where she doesn't want to be challenged, and she even like pokes at people. It doesn't matter if it was like a teacher or a student. That little falsified smile. She is just a horrible person, and somehow wormed her way into being the one chosen to be put in this school to monitor Dumbledore. And so, in the Defense Against the Dark Arts, she is challenged by Harry because Harry wants to learn Defense Against the Dark Arts very desperately now, more so than previous years. But she refuses to teach the typical way. Matter of fact, not even want to do the typical lessons from the syllabus. So she trying to teach Harry a lesson by writing "I will not lie" on on a magic quill that ends up etching the words on Harry's skin, which Hermione and Ron tells him like, "Yo, you gotta tell Dumbledore about this," because Dumbledore is being so standoffish, and Harry, he feels like I'm fine. I handle this myself because he just wants to deal with it himself, and he doesn't think he wants. He not that he doesn't want help, but he doesn't want to put his friends in danger. But Dumbledore is making the mistake of not reaching out, but he feels that Voldemort will try to exploit that. But Voldemort kind of, I suspect he thought 2 moves ahead and expect Dumbledore will try to keep his distance, and that's what he's banking on. But the fact that this crazy bitch is in there torturing students, and it's like, and then challenging each teacher, Snape, and that what was Emma Thompson's teacher, that teacher she plays would supposed to be like divination, and the teacher foresees like danger in her future, but Umbridge takes it as a threat, so she ends up trying to get this teacher sent packing, and Dumbledore has to step in, and it's like, whatever you guys got going on in the ministry is whatever, but I'm still headmaster here. I'm the one who tells who goes and who stays. You're overstepping your bounds. Don't pull that stuff again. It's like, for now. It's like Dumbledore, like, you didn't like reach out and to the ministry and like do something because like this chick is clearly overstepping her bounds and torturing students. Very, archaic disciplinary actions, as McGonagall points out. And I love this little scene where her and McGonagall was having this kind of argument, and they're clearly at the steps, and every time one tries to one up the other, you see the other character take a step up. But as soon as Umbridge has the upper hand in the argument, McGonagall, relents, because, you see, not only relents because she got nothing to, back up her words anymore, she steps back down. I'm pretty sure other people noticed it, but I picked this up now because as a kid I probably didn't pick this up back then. But I noticed this and I picked this and I thought that was a great use of performance there because it's subtle. Those subtle moments like that I thought was very, very well acted. That is like, oh, wow. Great subtle acting from these actresses. Just the whole stepping up on the steps, like, I got you with this in the argument. And well, I got with you with this in the argument. And because I got you with this in the argument, you can't, challenge that. And so I step back down because I'm retreating because you got me. And it's like, that is just like, I'm not sure if that was a directorial, a directorial decision or it was the actress's decision. Either way, that was smart, not even probably just with writing, but just performances. That was just brilliant. That was like a brilliant display of like the way that played out. But yeah, Harry is just like, decides, well, at least thanks to his encouragement from his friends, they decide, okay, we'll need to teach ourselves. And since Harry has more experience dealing with these dark forces than any one of them, because he's been through a lot, they had him, they formed like this secret club. What do they call it? What do they call it? Just Dumbledore's army, I guess. Yeah, they call it Dumbledore's army. And because if you play Hogwarts Legacy, there's like a part of the story where you find this hidden area that forms kind of like your own man cave kind of situation that forms the way you want. I miss, and this made me really miss playing Hogwarts Legacy, and I hope there's like a sequel to that because that was like a fun game. But it formulates a room where you can teach, they can finally teach themselves how to defend against the dark arts because that's what they want to learn. At least as one of the key things they really need to learn, especially since Voldemort is preparing an army. They want to be prepared so they can fight too. So Harry decides, or at least thanks to encouragement from Hermione and Ron, he is put in a leadership role. which is kind of like, something that Harry never thought he'll be putting himself in, because he always, he doesn't see himself above anybody. He doesn't see himself trying to claim any kind of glory or anything like that. He is a reluctant hero kind of situation. He helps teach what he has learned from other mentors of him, like he learned Patronus from Lupin, so he ends up teaching that same lesson to these other students. And you can see he's pretty good at being a teacher, even helping Longbottom to learn how to disarm another wizard. And usually that stuff is like, ends up backfiring on him, but it is he learned how to, like, okay, because people suspect that Longbottom, the reason things kind of backfire on him, because he got so much power, so it kind of, he can't control it, so it ends up backfiring on him. So I think that is kind of the, what you call it, it's not expressed in the films, but it's the fans who kind of filled in the gaps in their own headcanon. That's the word I'm thinking of. It's their own headcanon. It's like, oh, okay, no, Longbottom is a pretty good wizard. He just can't, control all that. So Harry shows some good teaching skills and leadership skills. And of course, that groundskeeper, that old dude with a cat, sitting there, is such a little shit. That he's like all over. Like, I guess he had like a thing for Umbridge, and he's just like a little cat to her in a way, because he has a cat. She's got like a room full of like plates with images of cats, so he's just kind of like, following her like a cat. And then she kind of she keeps increasing more rules, which is kind of going overboard. And it's like Dumbledore and the other teachers, it's like, you need to slow down with these rules, because they're kind of hindering a lot of the students from being able to do much of anything. But she then recruits some Slytherins like Malfoy and his little cronies. She eventually finds the little secret chamber, and trying to punish Harry, Hermione, with some quick thinking, says like, oh, Dumbledore has this little secret weapon. It's hidden in the Forbidden Forest. So her and so Umbridge, Hermione, Harry go to Forbidden Forest. They end up bumping into these centaurs, who I think Umbridge has some kind of fear of. I can't remember. And they also bump into Hagrid's half brother, but honestly, for right now, it doesn't really feel much in with as far as like the narrative. Like, I just make sure I point that out. But because the insult that Umbridge put on one of the centaurs, they end up snatching her away. Don't know if we'll see her again. I can't remember. I thought she showed up in the last two films, but we'll see, because I can't remember. But she is in a snatch away because Harry and his friends want, because we meet this Lovegood lady who is a bit of an oddball, but it's kind of cute. I love those kind of oddball type of. Clearly, she's back home. She's got to be some kind of goth girl, but Harry has this mental image or a nightmare that uh, his godfather, Sirius Black, is in danger of being tortured by uh, Voldemort in the Ministry. But because he's so headstrong and uh, because he's an orphan, mind you, so any ties to his parents, he will put aside anything, anybody, any reason, just to keep that close tie to his parents so desperately. So his friends don't want to leave him out there alone, so they all come together, go to the Ministry, and finds out that it was all a ruse. Voldemort exploited his memories, despite Snape trying to train Harry into defending his mind with what was called the occlumency. But and I do like Snape in this because he actually is trying to help Harry in the most asshole way possible, because he's still kind of butthurt, as we see when Harry used that same spell against Snape. Harry sees in his mind that his father wasn't this all honorable person that he envisioned in his mind. He sees that his father, James, was a bully, not unlike Malfoy is to him. And you can see why Snape has that kind of same attitude, because every time he sees Harry's face, he sees James again. And he kind of haven't gotten over that, or at least haven't gotten that closure from James, because I guess either James died too early or he haven't, I don't know, maybe Snape, felt so hurt from the constant torment, he can't bring himself to forgive James for what he put him through when they were kids. And James never probably went out his way. He probably did, maybe, to try to apologize. But maybe to Snape, it was way too late. But Snape probably wasn't open to any type of forgiveness. Because maybe the torment was too cruel from half the time. I'm not sure which is which. I'm assuming it's Snape who probably wasn't willing to let go of that, or willing to possibly hear James out if James went out of his way to try to apologize to Snape at some point for what he's done to him as kids. But this kind of rocks Harry's world, because he doesn't know what to believe anymore at this point. He thought his father was this great man, but it turns out he was a dick to one of his teachers. And it's probably the reason why his teacher was such a dick to him, because his father wasn't so nice to him. But he went all the way to the Ministry and saw there was a complete ruse. Lucius Malfoy is there with Bellatrix Lestrange, who is responsible for Neville Longbottom's parents' death. So Neville came along because he wants to deal with Bellatrix for what she's done to his parents. Because they're looking at it, they're trying to find this orb with a prophecy with Harry's name on it. So Harry's trying to get it, keep it from them. An all-out fight ensues between these Death Eaters and the students, which ultimately, they wouldn't really be much of a match for at least Malfoy Sr. and Bellatrix. But then Sirius Black shows up with the Order of the Phoenix crew. Bellatrix used a what was the curse? Crap. The killing curse on Sirius. And uh, after chasing after her, Voldemort shows up, tries to attack Harry. Dumbledore shows up. Don't know where this fool has been hiding out at. And then, honestly, leads into one of the most epic battles in Harry Potter, where you see these two expert wizards in their craft utilizing different spells and counteracting each other. And especially when Voldemort kind of takes fire and is like kind of blah, and Dumbledore uses water to extinguish it and encase Voldemort in water. You see these two duels going off, like these two expert magicians at the height of their power, and pretty much at a stalemate. Voldemort then tries to pull like Hail Mary and possess Harry, hoping that Dumbledore will sacrifice the boy. But Harry, remembering his friends and his family and the connection he has with them, forces Voldemort out of his body. And right as the Ministry shows up, and the headmaster of the Ministry has to admit that, oh, Voldemort is back. So he ends up ultimately resigning in disgrace. Umbridge is kind of like, well, she's got taken away by centaurs. I don't know if anybody brought that up, but he's like, oh, she's, gone in disgrace. And Dumbledore is reinstated as like the head master at Hogwarts, and Voldemort is back. So they had to admit that. So so now things are taking a very dark turn. Harry lost his own other living connection to his parents, with his godfather gone. And now there's like a lingering prophecy that neither can live while the other survive. So that's where we're leaving off with Order of the Phoenix. So we'll be reviewing what was the next one? The Half-Blood Prince. But then the week after, I'll be covering both part 1 and 2 of Deathly Hallows. And I think after that, I'm going back to just regular movies that isn't connected to some kind of big franchise. I think I'm going to take a break from all that for a while. But anyway, let me know in the comments if you're having trouble hearing me because some issue with your headphones or whatever. I'll have it on my YouTube channel so you can hear from there about my thoughts. But let me know in the comments below what you guys think of Harry Potter and Order of the Phoenix and what you think. Because, God, there's so much good stuff in this. And more to come. But I'll see you guys a little bit later as I get back to playing some more games. So, it's going to be a lot, because I have been slacking a little bit with the video games. But I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Have a great weekend.